So now we're moving on to how we actually moderate our writing and also how we stay motivated. So the thing that came through for me about this for myself is that it's a personal journey that I've allowed myself to take, where even if I reflect on it, I go, oh yeah, I only really realised that, you know, when I was working, you know, for the public service for a while there, and the only time I could really write was during my lunch break that day, because I had other commitments or what have you. It was like, if I don't do this, I'm going insane. I have to do this. So for me, the boundary was turning up to save my sanity. Not turning up meant I would probably fall into a hole in my head, energetically, in an environment that was focused primarily on the negative, you know, in a lot of ways. So I actually would turn up for my half-hour lunch break and eat while I wrote. That's what I did. Those boundaries are not limit setting to stop you from writing. These boundaries are about creating and carving out a framework for you to feel comfortable to turn up for yourself. And not turning up for yourself can mean that you know, collapse in a hole in your mind. So that's what it was for me. I'm not saying that's how it is for everybody. Also, there were obviously there's times where I only have a certain window of time that I have to turn up for as well, which was like almost like having a boundary imposed onto me, like on a Saturday morning, or, you know, if I know I want to have time with my family and say, well, I'm giving myself an hour to write every Monday and Wednesday night, and that's it. Without fail, I have to do that, you know, just to stay on track. Why I say that is because for me, a lot of my writing was about momentum. You know, you dive in and you get this information, and then if you just let it go and you didn't dive in again, you kind of lost the momentum of what Spirit was trying to give you. Almost like, here, have this gift. Oh, okay, I'll have one of those. Yeah, thanks. And then I don't need any others. And it's almost like not going, thank you, oh my God, this gift is here. Having said that, you know, like, respect for the journey as well, and respect for your humanity means being able to moderate how much you can take. So for me, even when I was writing for that 2 weeks, when I took that time off work to write my book, it was very much about, well, I'll write for 2 hours and I'll stop and I'll have a good break, and then I'll write for 2 hours later in the afternoon. So I would say I probably didn't write more than 4 hours during the day. That was enough, with a good break, like a solid good break of something, lunch, you know, or going through exercise or doing something to let myself breathe, and then I'd come back and focus on the next topic or what have you. So it's about finding that balance with your humanity, with your higher self, which is connecting in with your higher self, being real about what not writing is doing for you, because if writing's doing something for you, then what is not writing doing for you? Right? Sorry, sure. So yeah, so that dropped in this morning as I was having a shower. A lot of things come to me in the shower, and then I have to go wrap them. But it was, yeah, that question, and specifically Spirit wanted me to ask you that. You know, if writing, if you can nail it, that this is what it's doing for you. If you're not doing that, what are you doing to, you know, what are you doing to yourself? What are you giving to yourself, or not giving to yourself, or allowing for yourself, or not allowing for yourself, right? So is that enough then to tap into some motivation to write? You know, because sometimes we have the little carrot dangled and we, you know, I'm not worthy. Yeah, okay, but how much do we want to suffer for not feeling worthy or what have you? How much pain we really want? So if, you know, writing is creating that flow, not writing is creating stagnation. If writing is creating that connection, not writing is creating a disconnection perhaps. If, you know, for me, writing kept me sane. Not writing, what was obvious for me. It was just like, no. And when I say insane, it meant like not so much crazy, but more living not my authenticity. And for me, that's being fake. So for me, that when I grew up in my family of origin, I was a people pleaser, and that was my first addiction. So for me, that addiction created insanity because I could never be real with anybody. So for me, going back to that was insanity, because they say doing the same thing twice is just over and over again and without a different result is insanity, the definition of insanity. So that's what I'm talking about. So writing helped keep me authentic. So I could talk about that till the cows come home. So we might just have to stop the tape.